everyone. This is the Brexit march in London. Well, shall we say pro-EU march? People demanding a second referendum. People demanding Theresa May to resign. Over 1 million people. It topped the 1 million mark. This really is unprecedented, and it is very, very clear. One thing is very, very, very clear, is that a lot of people who voted leave have changed their minds because they were lied to. And that is a very serious issue when people have been persuaded to vote one way or the other on such an important issue that affects their food supply, their medicines, their freedom of movement, even their rights, and they've been lied to. That is a very serious issue, and we do need a second referendum. And I think that the people of this country, you're going to have to come all out and demand this second referendum now, because we're going to have to do this in every single city in Britain to let this government know that, look, all hell is going to break loose in this country if it comes down to this, basically. You know, government orders hospitals not to reveal Brexit impact assessments to protect commercial interest. It's going to be really bad. We get all our medicines from the EU. They've got absolutely nothing lined up to cover it, to cover the gap. Food, 30% of food comes in through the EU. They still haven't organised a trade deal. At the moment, what we've got on offer is a trade deal with America. And, you know, I'm not like, do the research, check it out for yourself. America is demanding that in exchange for a food deal, we lose all the health and safety regulations presently on our food, and we let American health insurance companies run our NHS. That's the deal. Food with these strings attached. Now, suppose America doesn't like the government that we British people choose to elect. Suppose America doesn't like it. Oh, and they decide to issue sanctions on us. Well, you know, as it is, it looks like Britain has been persuaded to vote for sanctions. We have been persuaded to vote to be like Venezuela, to live under siege with no food supply, cut off our food supply, cut off our medicines. I mean, no, this isn't what people voted for, was it? People were being told, oh no, we can get our food from everywhere in the world, and yeah, you know, we'll have our sovereignty. The pound is going to fall like nobody's business, and I am talking less than 50p. The value of the pound as it is now will drop to what 50p is worth now. Overnight, expect it. What does that mean? That means everybody's wages slashed in half. Are your wages going to double all of a sudden to make up for the shortfall? No, they're not. How much is this food going to cost from America? How much do you think their poisonous, Monsanto-laden, hormone-injected, chlorinated food is going to cost by the time it gets into Britain and we paid the world trade tariffs? How much? Double? Triple? Quadruple? With your slashed pound? This is a recipe for austerity gone AWOL, basically. It is austerity on steroids. That is what Britain has voted for in voting for this Brexit. Would any sane people vote for even more austerity? Of course they wouldn't. Why did they do it? Because they were lied to. Because they were stirred up with xenophobic madness. And also, ultimately, what they wanted us to do was to hold us, that, yeah, now you voted, now the truth's coming out, there you go. So you better have May's deal, hadn't you? Otherwise, it's a hard Brexit, and look what's going to happen to you if you don't have May's deal. Well, we need to say, sorry May, Theresa May, get lost. She is a criminal. I mean, really, she belongs in jail along with half of the other Tory ministers that are sat around her. They belong in jail for what they have done to the people of this country by their own choice. Okay? Because Britain is one of the largest economies on this planet, and yet they've imposed austerity on the people against UN advice, against UN regulations, against our human rights. They have totally stripped human rights of the sick and disabled. They've stripped human rights of children. I mean, only the other week they voted to deny free school meals to children, the poorest working families. I mean, it is. What can I say? These people, they are insane. She's insane. We need to boot her out. She needs to go out. We've got to do it. We've got to get her out. That's it. Because she's like a limpet, isn't she? A barnacle. We're literally going to have to get a chisel and ply her off that rock. That is what we're going to have to do. Parliament, you're going to have to boot her out. We are going to need to boot this mad, crazy woman out of office and all these mad, crazy Tories out of office, because we don't want your stupid, sick deal that actually is what? What? Did we vote for that in order to be paying all the money out and getting none of the benefits? How crazy is it? Do you think the British people voted for that? And how dare you? How dare a government offer the people a choice to leave the EU and then have nothing in place? Nothing at all. Not even one trade deal set up, and we're there on the doorstep. This is coercion. This is blackmail. That's what this is. This is coercion and blackmail. And you're playing a very, very dangerous game. And it is time now to remove these people from office. They need booting out of Parliament. They are not fit. She is not fit. Parliament has a broken history. They've got no confidence in the woman. It is time for a general election. It is time to put the vote back to the British people, because the British people were lied to. And that is as simple as that. It is not a fair vote. Okay, to be lying people. All right, politicians might be allowed to lie about this and that, but not when it comes to a referendum on something as important as leaving the EU. Okay, any lies told there is perjury. It's perjury. Lives have been put at risk. Look at what they've, I'll leave you the thing, these links. Listen to what they're saying about the hospitals. They've been told not to tell you that they're going to run out of medicines, that they're going to run out of treatments. Okay? And I am sick to death of hearing the Brexiteers going on about their sovereignty, because, as I always say to them, look, don't talk to me about sovereignty when this government wants to remove our human rights, when it wants to remove our workers' rights. Do not talk to me about sovereignty. What is sovereignty with no human rights then? What does that mean? What does sovereignty mean when I've got no workers' rights? What does sovereignty mean when, now, we're going to remove all the health and safety regulations off our food so we can feed our kids Monsanto pesticide-laden food? I'll leave you the links. I'll leave you the links under this. Check it out. Don't take my word for it. I'm not scaremongering here. These are the facts that are on the table. They're scary to me. Those facts are scary to me. It is scary to me. I don't even eat meat. So, what difference does chlorinated chicken and hormone injected beef mean to me? I do eat vegetables though. I do care for somebody who's dependent on these medications, NHS painkillers, that aren't made in Britain, that we get through the EU. What's going to happen to him? Are we all going to be on rationing? Like I say, is that what we voted for? So we could have Venezuela-style supermarkets, the kind of sanctions that have been put against Venezuela, described as a medieval siege by the UN, okay, what? We voted for it? We voted for that? No, 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 we didn't, did we? We didn't. People voted, the people who voted Brexit had this, we're told, a pack of lies. And xenophobic fears. Oh, if you don't vote Brexit, Britain's going to be flooded by Muslims and we're all going to be living under Sharia law. I mean, it was absolutely crazy. But oh, the NHS is going to get £350 million a week extra just by leaving the EU. Absolute load of nonsense, the lot of it. Absolute load of nonsense. Personally, I do not love the EU in the sense of I know that it is corrupt as hell and it sold its soul to the devil, to the corporateers. We know this. But so is Britain. So is Britain. Leaving the EU doesn't mean we're leaving the corporations, does it? No, it doesn't. It means they get an even deeper grip onto our throats. That's what it means, and that is what is scary, because this government is talking about, well, it hasn't even committed to upholding workers' rights. These are serious, serious issues that suddenly people are leaving the EU. Oh, suddenly we can be talking about scrapping human rights, scrapping workers' rights, scrapping protection of the environment. They're going around our cities, netting trees, netting bushes and trees. Why? Also, birds can't nest in them. Why? Because then the corporations can't develop that land because they can't chop the trees down because there's nesting birds in them. Seriously, this country is going mad, crazy mad, and we're dealing with a government that looks at us people. We're stock. We are stock. We are stock. Okay, and as they take no notice of this. 2 million of us marched against the Iraq war. They take no notice of this. But we need to take notice. We need to stand up and remove this government. We want a second referendum. We want everything on the table. And if we're going to leave the EU, okay, then this government should have had a contingency plan. You don't ask people, you don't give people a choice. You don't go and knock on somebody's door and say, would you like to leave home? Because, if you don't leave home, mad Muslims are going to come and terrorise you out of it. So really, you're better off leaving home now and have your sovereignty. But where's the house to move to? Where's the house to move to? What kind of nonsense? What kind of nonsense has been put to the British people? Only so they could hold us up against the wall and we'd have to accept this hard Brexit that basically strips of us all our rights but keeps the money and business flowing for the governments, for the government cronies. This is not right. It is so out of order. It is. There is no order here. No order. And as I say, we need now to come out. We need to do an Iceland on them. That is what this is what we need to do. We need to do an Iceland on this government. Every city, every town, you come out with your pots and pans, you say no, 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 no. Okay? Because I don't even want to tell you how bad it's going to get. And you're going to be able to do nothing about it. I mean, why do you think they've got troops on standby for the hard Brexit? Why do you think they have that? They know, they've played us over. They've been playing a very nasty, evil game, these Tories. They really have. They've inflicted division and violence within our own country, turned the populace against each other with, such venom and hatred I witness from these people who voted Brexit. I want a hard Brexit. Well, what are you going to do? Yeah, well, I was in the army. I'm a survivor. Oh, good for you. Never mind about the pensioners then, and the children, and the people who are sick in hospital, the people dependent on medicines. We won't bother about those. I mean, have they even got a supply of insulin? Have they? Have they? Well, even if we write and ask them how their insulin supplies are, oh, they've been told not to tell us. What can I say? I mean, I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. This is who Britain is basically with Brexit, a hard Brexit. He's going to be running our country. He's going to be in charge of our food and medicines. That in my worst nightmares. Okay, give me a choice between him and the EU. I'll take the EU anytime. Because at least the EU is full of populations of people that do actually support everything that he stands against. That's why he's put sanctions on Venezuela. Why? Because Venezuela was trying to live like the Norwegians. With the healthcare and the free education and social housing. Oh, no, that's not allowed in South America. You get sanctioned. Look, people, please, 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 please. We've got to do it for the sake of the children. We need to stop this nonsense. We don't want the soft Brexit. We don't want the hard Brexit. We want another referendum. That's what we need. We need another referendum because I am deeply concerned. As I say, for me personally, I'm not dependent on medications. I'm a vegan. I already eat very frugally. How is it going to affect me? It affects me because I'm witnessing the horror and the suffering of the people, the most vulnerable people, and even the people with jobs. I mean, how many jobs are going to be lost? And why should people's wages be slashed in half? Because the pound's going to fall like nobody's business with a hard Brexit. It really is. It's going to... You're talking a slashing of your wages, your house prices. Oh, what can I say? You know, look, people, it's time. It's time. We need to remove this Theresa May, that's what she is. This government is treason. It's treason, and they are criminal. And it is time to arrest them. It really is. It's time to arrest them, remove them out of Parliament. We want another general election. We want a general election now, and we want a referendum to revoke Article 50 to get out of this Brexit madness and shelve it all. If Britain wants to leave the EU, then we need to get independent, don't we? Again, we need to be the nation we were when we entered the EU, don't we? We need to have our own production facilities going, don't we? We need to be able to produce our own food, don't we? We need to be prepared